Welcome. Welcome to Watching with Styles. Hope everybody is having a great night. I hope this can take your mind off of everything that's going on in the world right now. Just a little slice of peace, I guess. Crazy. So, this is the crazy part. Does it not feel like this game was like 2 weeks ago? With everything that's going on, it seems like this game has happened like October 15th. It seems like it's been a long time. But even though it feels like it's been a long time, we still got to break this thing down. I appreciate you guys watching with me, especially with it being Wednesday. I try to break this thing up so I'm not holding you for 3 hours, 2 hours, or whatever. Although this second half is going to go by pretty quickly. It's pretty much the same stuff that happens in the first half. Just missed opportunities. That's what it is. It is. I'm going to say this, though. We should feel hoping for a big blue win in Georgia. Tiffin Wildcat, I know I should have beat him in Georgia in 95. So it's not out of the question. It would be a nice win because I still think they're gonna have a quarterback issue. JT Daniels will probably be the starter, but I don't trust JT Daniels. Not saying he's not a good player, but he's not anything exceptional. So let me get into this film. All right, so second half. Again, I always forget to say this. I'm going to say this thing early this time. Not my defense. I didn't install it. I can only go by my knowledge of football. I'm not 100% accurate, but I feel like I'm pretty close. I've watched the film enough. There's only a certain amount of defense you can run. Now, the NFL gets really creative. But in college, there's only a certain amount of defenses you can run. So I feel very confident with my analysis of this thing. You can contact me via Twitter/Periscope. If you watch me on Twitter, obviously you follow me, you know my handle. If you watch me on Periscope, the same deal. Or you can be watching on YouTube. And I did a decent job last week of following the comments on YouTube and trying to answer all the questions. So let's get into it. This is the beginning of the second half. Defensively, it is a mindset. And our mindset is not always what I would like it to be. Our mindset would be, let's get these guys off the field as quick as possible, get the ball back to our offense. We only gave up one drive the first half. Unfortunately, we're going to give up one play in the second half too. Problem. This is, I might put this in my freaking bio. We are consistently inconsistent. These guys up front, sometimes they fire off and create a line of scrimmage on this side of the ball, but sometimes they do this. And we get bullied. And you're getting double teamed. Bully got, no pun intended, Bully got chipped and they was able to get the square. And now the new line of scrimmage is 2 yards downfield. That's not good. We cannot let that happen. We got to be stronger at the point of attack. So now they are ahead of schedule. They can run anything right now. Now that's a pretty good feel by Jamin. The more I watch this film, the more interested I am into why Jamin is not as aggressive as he was in previous game. Now, what I do like, here we go with this. What I do like, though, is I like the depth that the linebackers have. I think sometimes we get a little a little too aggressive, a little too close to line of scrimmage, which then allows us to get caught in a wash. When you're that close to the line of scrimmage, the distance between you and the lineman, it's easier for them to chip and get to the second level. So I do like that we are getting some depth from the line of scrimmage, but it's interesting that sometimes we're not coming downhill. Like I said on Monday. See, these days are, man, on Monday, how you got to read through the guard to the quarterback. When I play this fast speed, that's a run. That's a run. And we're not coming downhill. We have this gap right here. We have this gap because we slant it to the top of the screen. If you look at it, watch Bully, watch Pascal. It looks like we're slanting to the top of the field, which means Jamin would have this cutback lane. And he does a good job, but he's slow to the party. See how he's going backwards? He's slow to the party. He should have been on the level of Weaver about right now. He should be, well, not right now because the ball hasn't been handed off. But you do know it's a run because of the spot. Now he should be coming up to be right here. And now he's still where he was. Great hit, but he could have hit him 2 yards right about the line of scrimmage. This is good pressure by Hoskins. He just beat this poor man up. This guard had no chance. Got his hands off of him, engaged, got his hands off of him, a little swim, a little uppercut, and he's by him. And we got pressure. I'm surprised that ball wasn't deflected. Now, or altered. Now, we talked about this. I had this clip in my highlight. Right now, Devontae's in good shape. I would have liked him to be a little more. As a DB, you need to run into him and feel him and then turn your body. Because the thing about it is when you feel him, you can feel him when he stops. But you got to get your body into him. Get your body into him and not just your hands. Okay, he's in decent shape. Now he's behind. Now you can't look back. You trailing. You cannot look back. You are playing eyes and hands. Eyes and hands. Because when you look back, you slow down. And then it gave him a chance to push off a little bit. They're never going to call that. And now your arms got to be, you should be playing hands about right there. You see his hands go up. It's a timing thing. The ref's not going to call this if you time it right. You should come, chop down right there. Chop down. You cannot catch it because you're in good position. You're just not in position to look back to potentially get an interception. If you remember, well, is it here or late? I can't remember. It was the first half where Kevin Jones got the interception? I think it was. Remember that one? He was even with the receiver. So he could look back because he was on top of him. When you're behind, you can't look back or you shouldn't look back. That's my philosophy. Because you are not going to get this interception. And this is a chunk play. This got them 30-plus yards. That's great pass rush by Hoskins. We need to see that more. Like I said, we need to be more consistent. Again, this is what I was talking about earlier. I don't know if this was planned where Jamin is supposed to be a little slower on his reaction. But, I'm about to lose it again, I'm sure. I'm about to lose this screen again. Yep. I'm sorry, guys. I'm having some technical difficulties with this freaking software. It keeps chiming out on me. But So I don't know what the game plan was. Maybe there was a reason why Jamin was a little slower to the play. Maybe they saw something and they didn't want him coming downhill. Maybe they had a play where they dump across the middle. I haven't seen it. I didn't see it in the films that I watch of them this year. But maybe there was something there that they saw and they didn't want Jamin crashing the party as quickly as I would have liked them to. So, like I said at the beginning, I'm not in the meeting room, so I'm not sure why. But sometimes that is part of the game plan. Sometimes the coaches see stuff that warrant them making some adjustments, and they make those adjustments. And it's up to the players to execute that adjustment. So maybe Jamin is executing the adjustment that was called by Coach White and the linebacker coach, which I think Coach White has the inside linebackers. Or Summerall has the inside linebackers. I'm not sure. One of them. I think Summerall has an inside linebacker. So maybe Summerall that's the technique he wanted that week. And that's the technique that we ran. Now, I don't know if I skipped a play. I'm just going to go to here. 2nd and 5. That's not bad. This is pretty good gap responsibility. Pretty good. It seems like I can't scrub. It's about to cancel again. I'm going to try one more time, guys. And if it doesn't work this time, I'm going to have to shut my computer down and start this thing over, because this is not it's not being cooperative right now for some reason. It was running good when I first tried this thing. It was giving me problems, but then I had a few games where it was pretty good, but now it's hanging up on me again, and I don't know why. Although I do like it because it allows me to scrub the plays pretty quickly. So, and I can go frame by frame, which is really nice to look at plays. So this is where we were. Jamin is a little slow, but it's not bad. We contacted him about a yard from the line of scrimmage, and he carried us. We can't let. This is good fit. I would like Square to push this guy a little bit more into that gap. But all in all, that's asking for perfection. You know, I'm being nitpicky sometimes. But we should be striving for perfection. That's a good play. Now, that's a good call. Maybe blitz up the middle. Pascal does a good job because they had to come off of him. Good job out. That's good work. That's good work right there. Now we're in 4th down. Now, we're in 4th down. We're in 4th down. We know what we have. We gotta be coming. At first, I thought it was Pascal because he does get washed all the way across the line of scrimmage. But the more I look at it, I think it's Davis. Because he's a little slow. If he would blitz this gap right now, blitz it, let's go, it's 4th and 1. He would blitz that gap. Oops, I'm not showing the play. Let me start over. But like I was saying, I thought it was Pascal problem because, like I said, he seemed like he got washed across the line of scrimmage. But the more I look at it, the more I think it's Davis. Davis is right here. If you look at the snap of the ball, it's 4th and 1. The ball is snapped. And he's chopping. Square is coming downhill. Square gets to the line of scrimmage before he does. If he would have shot this gap, which was his gap, it would have forced his running back to bounce it to here. I think this is Weaver. Weaver does a good job of crashing, taking that pulling guard. And then we have a free guy here. His job is here, quarterback. If he bounce it, now he can come and take a shot. But since Jamin was just a hair slow, it allowed his tight end time to get this block. And that's where we go. He cannot get there because he's gotta be respecting, he's gotta respect the quarterback keep. So he can't come right now because of the zone read. See that? Everything is handled perfectly except Jamin gets blocked inside, and that's his gap right there. Now, if Asian could see the handoff, maybe he could come and get that tackle, but he will have to read it right. You don't want to, like I keep saying, you do your job. You ain't worried about this. You do your job, because if you do your job, this is your guy. And if for some reason you make the wrong decision, he takes it. Now it's on your ass. Ah, damn. So we gave up 2 drives. That was 4th and 1. You can see it. Pascal tries to get into this gap. This lineman blocks down. He's trying to get here. But if he came right now, he can get inside that block because he's out leveraged him anyway. He's at least a body and a half inside of that guy. See? So now if he was right here now, it would have closed that gap. But since he waited, that allowed that guy to block him, and watch where the ball goes. Right in that crease. Damn. Touchdown. Hey, we got pretty much handled on this ball. Sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some. And this is what I want to get across with this play. This is not the play call. This is the execution of the play call. I just want to harp on that. Everybody wants to say fire guy, fire guy. It's not about firing. It's about these guys not executing. Now, if you want to say that their execution is because of the coach, okay, you can say that. I would disagree because I've been in the rooms with guys with good coaches, and they coach you up, but sometimes you don't execute. And we just have a slippage here. See right here? I guarantee you Slarman doesn't coach ducking your head. He duck his head, and the guy swims him. And that's who makes the play. See that? That's who makes the play. Right there. Because I think this horsey ducked his head, he swimmed him, and now he can't get into the gap that he wants to because we got this guy. That's execution, man. Everybody else did their job. One guy had a little minor lapse. I want to go over this real quick. I can get it back. Now, sometimes you call the perfect call to what they call. These guys slant this way. They're slanting. We are trying to influence this way and allow these two guys to pull. It was perfect. And all the running back has to do is beat one guy. And running back should be one guy the majority of the time. Hat on a hat. Everybody's blocked. They slanted away from the way we want to run. All he has to do is beat that guy. What's that, 15, 20, 25 yards. See how they slanted that way? See how number 10 went inside? Now all he got is 13. So we're gonna come here, block here. He's gonna turn up, block there, and all we got is a corner at the bottom of the screen. This is perfect call for the perfect situation. Hat on a hat. Now all we gotta do is make that guy miss, and we're out the gate. That's chunk yards. That was a perfect call. You only get a couple of those a game. See, this is a pull every time. I don't know what the call was, but right now you know it's a blitz because they didn't do a good job of disguising this. This guy comes up, you know he's coming. This should be your read guy because we're blocking this guy. The read guy is the guy who you're not blocking. We're blocking that guy. The guy we're not blocking is here. If his shoulders are not parallel with the line of scrimmage, and if he's not outside of you when you're in the mesh zone, you should take it. When you deep dive into a play, one guy messing around at Tiff and Wildcat, that's what I try to have people understand. It is so much about execution. A coach cannot call the perfect play every time. It's just impossible, especially on this level, because sometimes in high school, your coordinator might be just better than their coordinator, and you can just beat them just because you know football better than him, you're more experienced, et cetera, et cetera. In college, that other DC is making just as much money as our OC. So he knows football just as much as Grant does. So then it turns into sole execution. You can't scheme up plays to work all game. Like I said, that play we just ran was 25 yards. We schemed that up nicely. We called a perfect call. It just doesn't happen all the time. But this right here is a pull. Oops, what happened? What just happened? Oh, don't tell me it's gonna do it again. I can't turn you guys off. We might not go over the whole first half, second half. We might just go over a couple more plays if it continues to do this. Because I'm at 30 minutes right now, and I don't want to shut down and then be here all night. So let me do another. Let me see how this thing rolls out. If it doesn't play out, and if some of you guys have questions, maybe I can answer questions. But I think this is actually the play. I think I actually got lucky. Yep, this is the play. So he comes, you know he's blitzing. So right now, his shoulder stayed parallel for a long time. But this is why you have to feel this. Do you think he's coming this way? I don't care how his shoulders are square. He's coming this way. Do you think as an athlete I can outrun him to the corner? Because you know it's man. These guys can't help. These guys can't help. Once you get outside of him, now the only guy who can come get you is one of them linebackers. He makes the tackle. That's pretty well blocked. The unblocked guy crashed the party. Now that's not a read. This is a handoff because he doesn't even look backside. He doesn't even look this way because you're reading this guy. So this was a call because you're not reading play side. You're reading to see if this guy is going to crash, because if he crashed, then you pull and there's no one out here. So Joey's not even looking at it. That's just a zone play. That's just a call run. Now we're in 3rd and 4. This is a good down for us. We converted quite a bit of this in the first half because we were able to push these guys around a little bit. So this is actually a good down for us. Whew. Sometimes you don't need to throw the ball that hard. He made this hard. But this is Coach Grand. I want to show you something else. Scheming up a guy to get open. He schemed this guy to be open. He know we're not that good against press man. We ran this play earlier in the first half. So what you do when you're having trouble getting off press man, you stack them because the other guy can't press. I think this is Ali. I can't remember. If he was out, then they can both get pressed. We have a problem in press man. So now he naturally has a cushion. Other thing that's tough is since they're stacked, this receiver can just do as a natural rub by just running up the field. Because he's going to push him into that guy. See that? We have trouble getting off press man. This is the advantage, though. If you have trouble, he pushes him right into that guy. We run a Tom route, a little option route. Great catch because that's a bullet for that little short throw. Sometimes you got to take a little mustard off of it and put it on him. But that's scheming. That's a great call. This is a play that I'm trying to figure out, was it called? Because remember we ran the same play a minute ago when they slanted and we pulled the two guys and we gave it to Rodriguez and he busted through here and he busted for 25. I'm getting out. Bad day, guys. It's 2020. It doesn't want to work for me. So what I might do, I might run these plays back up Friday, but some reason the software keeps kicking me out. I'll stay on here for a couple minutes. If anybody has any questions, comments, but this thing here is more than coaching. Now, I'm not saying Eddie Grand is trying to think of some great offensive coordinators. He's not Lincoln Riley. He's not the guy at Clemson. I can't think of the black guy at Clemson. He's not the top offensive coordinator, but he's very good. And just want you guys to think about it. When he got here in 2016, he had Drew Barker, and we spread people out. It was going to be the offense he ran at Cincinnati. That's what it looked like it was going to be. It seemed like it was going to be the offense he ran at Cincinnati. Then Drew Barker got hurt. We went to Steven Johnson. Then he went to more of a deep ball post. When we threw the ball, it was downfield. We very rarely threw bubble screens. We was attacking downfield. Should have gave that one to Small. Yes, that's what I say. You should have gave that to the running. I don't know if that was called because it was the same play we ran for the 25-yard play when the guard and tackle pull is a GT like counter, but he didn't give it. I don't know why. And then the bad part about it is when he didn't give it, he went sideline to sideline instead of going up the field. In college, this is not high school. You ain't that good an athlete to beat these guys. No, he's not. Listen to me. No OC is perfect. I'll never forget. And the reason why I know this because Major Applewhite went to Catholic High School, which is a school in Baton Rouge that a couple of my buddies went to. Kevin Franklin, Warwick Dunn went to Catholic High School. And Major Applewhite was quarterback there. So I know Major a little bit. And Major was Saban's first offense coordinator he hired to kind of stretch the field, I guess, because Major had a great couple years at Texas. He was a Texas quarterback when he was in college, and then he was an OC for Mac Brown. And he had a couple good years, and then Saban hired him. I think he was 31 or something. I think he was the youngest coordinator at the time. And he just didn't have the weapons, and they just didn't execute his game plan. So then Saban went to McElvain, I think was the next one. And they ran a different kind of offense. And if people remember, Alabama was boring. Remember the game with LSU and it was 3-0, all that good stuff. But once you get these players to execute, once you get the players to buy in and execute, it doesn't matter what call you make. It really doesn't. I'm just telling you the flat out truth. When I play quarterback, I'm sitting back there and I know I get a play. And my senior year, Coach usually gave me 2 plays. And neither play looked good. Neither one. But if we executed, we got some positive out of it. It might have been only 2 yards. But it's better to be 2nd and 8 than to be 2nd and 11. You know what I'm saying? So then 2nd and 8, maybe you can get to 3rd and 4. If you are 3rd and 5 and under, for a defensive coordinator, it is very difficult to make a 3rd down play call. Because if you play zone, in theory, technically, you have to get 6 to 7 yards deep, the linebackers do, in zone. So that cushion is going to give that underneath route, it's going to be open. So 3rd and 4 and 5 is difficult. If you play man and you play too aggressive and they go deep, then it's touchdown. So it's a conundrum for a coach. Then if you play coverage, they can run the ball because it's only 4 yards. So that's why if you get 3rd and 7, it's better. It's easier to call a defense. It's easier to call a defense. I'm calling some type of good, probably quarters. Depending on what hash I am. If I'm into the boundary, I might play quarter halves. So I can have a hard corner in the boundary in case they're trying to run something real quick on me. And then I'll play quarters in the field. So those are the things. So play execution is the big thing. We're not executing. And sometimes execution has to do with talent level. Sometimes execution has to do with believing in your ability. Because we're not executing all the time. And all it takes is one guy. All it takes, one guy sometimes. But I'm going to tell you. So Coach Grant started out with Drew Barker. They went all freaking offseason running this spread offense like he did at Cincinnati. More timing passing game. Then he gets hurt, second, third game? Then he had to put in Steven Johnson, who's only came in the spring from JUCO. I saw Steven a little bit at Grambling. And then he came in his he came in the passing game change. We went to more play action, heavy run with Boom and then with Benny. Remember, Benny wasn't the Benny. It was more Boom. All right? So then he had Steven for 16 and 17. Then he had Terry. Now we have a speedster quarterback. Steven Johnson wasn't a speedster. Tough as nails, but he wasn't a speedster. And we got a speed demon at quarterback. And those first few games, you can see new quarterback coming from a system, coming from JUCO. We implement them, and we did some good things. So that was a different system. So we had system 1 was Barker, system 2 was Steven Johnson, system 3 was with T-Dub. System 4 was with Bowden. Think about it. He has not ran a consistent system since 2017. He only had one quarterback in back-to-back years as a starter, and that was Steven Johnson. T-Dub, 1 year, got hurt. Then we had Bowden. Now T-Dub comes back. We have some little timing issues. Was it Southern? I thought it might have been Southern Miss. You might be right. It might have been the first game. So 4 different freaking styles of offense. If you don't think that's incredible, if you don't understand how difficult that is, I mean, if some people just want to be in that firing lane. Some of y'all want to fire Stoops. You've been trying to fire Stoops since he got here. Some people are just that way. Some people are just that way. Let me say something. Just because you coach middle school, just because you coach even high school, the college game is a total different thing. It's totally different. Coaching in college is not like coaching in high school. I promise you. It's a totally different thing. Now, the one thing I said, I would keep saying, the one thing that we have not done well at is we have not done well in identifying wide receivers. And what I mean by identifying, it's not that we haven't offered scholarships to top of the line receivers. They just haven't come. They just haven't come. So you can't make someone come here if they don't want to be here. It is what it is. If they don't want to be here, they're not going to come. That's all. There's only so much you can do as a coach. All you can do is offer scholarship. Then it's up to the player to decide if he wants to come. They haven't come. But we have to identify a guy who is that dude. See, we had Bolden. Bolden was that dude. Bolden had almost 800 yards his sophomore year. Then he had to play quarterback his junior year. If he would have played, if T-Dub wouldn't have got hurt, Bolden might have had 1,000 yards last year. But it's hard when you don't have continuity in a system. We went from T-Dub to Bolden. Now we're trying to get back to T-Dub. We just lost a whole year of the T-Dub system, of the development of the receivers. Then we have a coach who's not here anymore, gets fired in a pandemic. We bring a new guy in a pandemic with no time to really work with these guys. Boudinot didn't come here until late. I think they only had a couple of spring practices. Come on. He has a philosophy that he hasn't been able to implement. And I'm going to tell you one thing. I don't know. I have a podcast with Anthony White Tuesday and Thursday. The Locker 9 to 10 is a great little podcast. Think about it this way. This way I look at it. Lamar Thomas was a stud in college. Now, I don't know how good a coach he was, blah, blah, blah. But one thing he does know is how to get off the down line of scrimmage, how to run a route. Now, you can say hey, maybe not a good coach, but he can show the guys how to freaking run a route. The same thing with Boudinot. He was pretty damn good in college. You're going to tell me he can't show the guys how to get off the line of scrimmage? That's not coaching. That's the guys executing. So Tiffin asked, they're not coming for the offense. Let me hip people to this though. All right. From Louisiana, and now I'm back in Louisiana. Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham came to LSU when Les Miles was the freaking head coach. Was that offense prolific? I just talked about LSU beat Alabama 3-0. They were not very good at quarterback position until, God, I can't think of the guy's name now. He came from Georgia starts with an M. I can't remember. He played for Tennessee Titans for a while till he came. And they passed the ball a little bit then. But Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry came to LSU. I'm going to tell you why in a minute. Calvin Johnson went to freaking Georgia Tech when they was running a wishbone. That's not a passing system. Julio Jones went to Alabama. I think it was Nick Saban's first recruiting class. Their offense wasn't special. You know what the difference is? All 4 of those guys were in-state talent. They wanted to play for that in-state school that they have seen play, and they were fans of the school. So, I think I've said this before. We have missed on Wan'Dale. We missed on Rondale. Man, that's a Rondale and Wan'Dale. We missed on those two guys. We missed on a guy that can be that guy. Because all you need is one in college. Because I'm going to tell you something. If Ali had one dude, he would have so many yards, it wouldn't even be crazy. Because the focus would be on the other guy. Ali runs good routes. He just doesn't put fear in a DB's heart. And I keep telling people this. I played the position. I played the position pretty well. If you look at my numbers, I had 8 interceptions in 3 years. The thing that scares the majority of corners the most is a guy who can beat them deep. If I don't respect your speed, I don't respect you. I don't care how good a route runner you are. In college, I can hit you anywhere down the field. If I get my hands on you, I'm going to win the majority of those plays. I am. I don't know about other corners, but when I played at almost 190 pounds, 6 feet, 190. When I got my hands on you, if I got both of them on you, now if I could jam you, it's going to hurt. I'm going to stun you. But Jacquez Green, Ike Hilliard, those boys for Florida, I wasn't doing that. I'm making sure I'm getting my ass as far as my back pedal is the fastest it will ever be. Because I know they can get over the top of me. I led the SEC in tackles as a corner. So I'm confident in my corner and in my tackling ability. But I don't want you to embarrass me. I don't want you to score an easy touchdown on me either and hurt my team. So I'm going to give you all that underneath stuff. I'm going to come up and make you feel me. But when you don't have that, I am in your grill the whole game. So we need just one receiver. All it takes is one. Lynn Bowden was a 3-star. Or was he 4? Lynn Bowden was a quarterback. But he made Bouvier. Remember Bouvier in 18? He made Bouvier's life easier. Because the defense had to respect Lynn Bowden's ability to get behind you. And we had Dorian Baker too. They had to respect the speed of the guys to get behind you. Even if you don't catch the ball. It's like Ted Ginn Jr. Ted Ginn Jr. lasted in the NFL for so long for one reason. Speed. The guy dropped so many damn deep balls, it was embarrassing. But you know what? The opposing defense had to call certain calls to respect his speed. So they made everybody else, all the other receivers on the team, made their job easier. Because now defenses have to respect the guy who can freaking get deep on anybody. All right? All right, I think I've talked enough. I'm going to hit Friday. I'm going to try to get this thing squared away with this software, and we'll finish up that second half. Appreciate you guys watching. See you guys on Friday.
1:16 left to play in the game. Quarterback drops it.